I love a good transfer special, don't you? I think we should do one just to see what we can make happen. Let's do that. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Passport to Poland, episode number 28. My name is ChasingLamely, and like and subscribe because we're going to do a transfer special and it's going to be special. So, first of all, though, let's do the housekeeping. The housekeeping is always an important part of any series. We need to make that happen as fast as we possibly can. This is going to be our news section for the first part. So let's look at who've gone to our best 11. We'll do the awards and things first, because that's always good. I have no idea why this is running so slowly, but I'm sure something will tell me very shortly. Because yeah, something is not playing. I don't know why. So we'll do that. I'll get there. Bear with me. I don't know why this is being slow. Right, this is our best 11, the overall best 11. Keziah Sterling has joined the best 11. He's playing on the right wing, which is weird. Raggett, Finson, Sherpen, Lashas and Piaszek have also found themselves into the team in various places. Raggett is now officially one of the best centre-halves we've ever had. Sherpen still the second best keeper. Lashas, best attacking midfielder we've ever had apparently. And Piaszek makes the bench. So yeah, good lineup. It's going to provide some good memories. I'm glad that Thomas Kuszczak is currently the number one, having just played his last game for the club. End of season awards. Dankowski is the player of the season. Can't disagree with that. Akira Wright and Sean Raggett, second and third. Team of the season, Piaszek, Puerto, Raggett, Dankowski with Sherpen in goal, Finson, Longstaff, Jankovic, Lashas, Wright and Sterling, which is quite a mix of the teams we've used. Signing of the season is Akira Wright on a free, which makes all the sense in the world. Dankowski, young player of the season. Glowiankowski got himself the goal of the season, which is not a bad thing for the youngster who came in towards the end of the season at all. Let's have a quick look at that. Let's see what we can see when the highlights of that game load. We'll get there. I think we played. Did we play this game on camera? I don't think we did. I think this was the game where I think this was the game where he made his debut actually. Just off the top of my head, I think this is the game where Williams got sent off and Wright got injured. Off the top of my head. So this was his big welcome to the big stage, which hopefully we'll get to see at some point very soon. I don't know why this is being so slow, but apparently it's going to be slow today. It was. We were 2-0 down. Glowiankowski picked up the ball there, goes on a run, just goes it alone, round the keeper, boom. That was his first ever goal for the club. And it looked like that. I'm just saying. See why I think the boy's a bit special. Let's look at the stats. Akira Wright, top goal scorer, 16 goals, 2 down on last season. Dankowski gets the highest rating at 7.05, which is not spectacular, and the most assists at 8. Best pass completion, Callum Slattery at 93%. Akira Wright gets 5 man of the match awards. Puerto and Matty Longstaff, 9 yellow cards apiece, and Nico Williams and Paris Magoma sent off once apiece. Season review, we'd effected to claim a top half finish. We did that. Finished where we'd been expected to. Slipped to 9th in the table during a rough patch. That's rather kind to us, because at various stages we were sitting 11th. I think at one stage we went below 11th. Champions Cup, we lost to Young Boys in the third qualifier round. Lost to Sudover in the fourth qualifier round of the Europa League. 7th in the league. Quarter-final of the FA Cup. Lost in the final of the Polish Super Cup. Match of the season, 4-0 against Lotz. Moment to forget, 3-0 against Lotz, so very up and down. Only 29% of our attendance full, which is not ideal. We used 45 players, to the highest in the league. Good times. Let's see what our visions and expectations are like for the next season. None of that looks like it's particularly new. Our contract runs at the end of this season. Minimum 2-year contracts for first team players. That's way better than the one I had before, where they were saying that I could only give contracts of a year to anyone over the age of about 27, whatever it was. They want us to finish top half, which is still doable, and become recognised as best of the rest, which I don't know what best of the rest means. Does it tell me what best of the rest means? Recognised the best rest outside the extra classes top team. Okay, so they want us to be the second best team in the country. We can achieve that. We're also going to finish our training and youth facilities this season, which is quite nice. And they want us to play exactly the same we did last season, so I think we'll just accept that. Dynamics update, anything looking good. Good dressing room atmosphere, excellent managerial support. Team leaders are Ledley, Puerto and Wright. Dankowski, Longstaff, Kushak and Raggett, highly influential. And Rakic and Sterling are also influential. That's pretty good. Let's do the team meeting. Next season, I would like us to finish in the top half, is probably what I'm going to tell them. We'll see if they think that's good enough. So, we'll tell them top half. They're happy with top half. Good times. I want to finish higher, but I'll keep them happy. Season injury report. Marcin Szapowski has spent 3 months out injured. We've not really seen him. Exposito had 2 months out injured while he was on loan. Kotovic has been out on loan, had 3 weeks out. To be honest, it's not too bad. That's not too bad as these things go. We haven't had any like huge blows. Like nothing. No one there like at the top end of the list really jumps out. Gloviankowski's wanted by Lekan Pogon. That's not going to happen. It's the end of season break. They're back on the 21st. Right, I want to see what our transfer budgets are because I haven't been shown a transfer budget yet, and I need to know what I've got to spend before we can make plans about what we're gonna achieve. So I want to come back when I finally see a transfer budget. We've had a few more awards come through, so let's have a quick look at those, just see what's going on there. Filip Stasinski's won the Player of the Season, Zag Levy player. I don't know who came second, but presumably, in fact, I voted for him to win because none of our players got nominated. I have been put on the shortlist for Manager of the Season, which is impressive. See how the order looks, see what my chances are. I'm about 6th. But just to be safe, unless I can vote for myself, can I vote for myself? I can't. So we're going to vote for the guy with the lowest winning ratio. Because that's how it works. And then Kazaya Sterling and Kamil Dankowski are among the team of the season. I say among, they're on the bench, but they're there. It's been, I think, 2 weeks nearly. Our last game. Last game was there. Oh no, it hasn't. It's only been a week, but I still haven't had any sign of that transfer budget. No sign. No idea. No idea what I'm supposed to be spending for this season. I know I'm supposed to get some kind of boost in the wage budget because they already announced it as they do earlier on. But I have no idea if I've got anything to spend whatsoever. It's becoming a little bit frustrating. I'm hoping I'll find out very soon because, you know, times are wasted. The window's about to reopen in about 2 weeks' time, and I need to know what I'm going to be spending now so I can start making plans. I'm already scouting like every player whose contract is running out in the top 4 leagues in Europe, as well as everyone in a league above us who's qualified for Europe, and looking at the players they've got running out of contract. As you can see from my massive inbox, none of these look like they are budgets though, so I'm going to keep going. We'll see if we ever get a budget or if I just start bringing in players and figure it out later. It's only taken about 3 weeks, but finally it looks like we've got our budgets through, which is nice. But first, the commercial summary. Everything is up. Some surprises on the shirt sales. I mean, Longstaff, I understand, he's technically our best player. Sterling, he's had a good season. Ledley's a legend. Wright is our top scorer. But Arche, I mean, you saw how bad he was for us. Why are people buying his shirts? Also, we've got a massive tax bill, which is not good. New scouting budget is 108,000, which is absolutely mental. Because our last budget was 60 something. So that gives me hope for this one. This could be the big one. What are we going to get? 100k a week and 274,000. It could be better, could be worse. It's less than we had last season, I think. But also I'm working on moving some guys on because I need to trim the squad anyway. Some of these guys are out of contract, and I'm still somehow getting money offers for them, which is a bit weird. This guy, his contract's up at the end of the season. They're still offering me 9k all over the shop for him. Will Brown's contract is up at the end of the season. Walsall are still willing to give me 500 quid for him. Stefan O'Connor, another loan out just to extend it to Sandecha because he's been doing okay for them. Fredson, again, our contract end of the season. He's only worth, what, a couple of grand at the moment, I think? So let's see if it tells me. He's worth 9 grand, but I've managed to get someone to pay me 20 for him. Go figure. His contract's up. They could have had him for nothing, but I'll take 20 grand for him. Madi Suarez, 32 grand, which is his value, but I'm happy with that. He can go. Morgan Boy's just rejected that loan offer, but I'm not going to cry over that. Danny Owusu has had a couple of bids rejected, but we're hoping we can get some good money for him. Trokanovski's another guy I'm trying to get rid of. I'm hoping I can get about 20k for him. Hjertstrand is on his way out at the end of the month, 72. The Boschko is gone. Jarzabowski off to Malika, 500 quid. It's okay. Watts is off on loan for another season, hopefully. Roy Toll is not only off on loan, but if you look at the deal, I've structured it so they have to pay us 50 grand for him at the end of the season, which is pretty good. I know he's worth 80, but it's still a pretty good deal. These two guys, this guy, Tarak, off, gone. Happy days, end of the season. I don't know why he's got two things, but we'll go with it. Dalvar Isanovic is discussing a contract to go on loan for the rest of the season, or for the next season, and we're trying to get Jack Stainrod gone too. So yeah, a few players there. Also, if we need to raise some cash fast, I can get 21,000 from Legia for Constanti, because of his 40% sell-on, which actually is probably more than he'll ever be worth. Because I don't think he was a guy that I ever looked at and thought he's going to make it. So, you know, we'll see how that goes. We'll keep that in our back pocket. Adamczyk, again. Adamczyk was the... Yeah, Constanti and Adamczyk, sorry, they've both gone. They've gone to clubs with similar names. That's why I got confused. Again, there's a profit from next sale clause in his contract. He hasn't played for them yet. I'm not sure he ever will. So we'll keep an eye on that over the course of the season. If that changes, we might take that cash. And then there's an appearance fee for Stiglitz, which apparently we can sell now should we want to. But he should make 37 more appearances, so I don't know. We'll see. I'd rather them just say you can write the £1,000 a week we're paying him off, to be honest. But yeah, we'll make that work. So let's have a look, see how that looks financially. We've found another couple of million quid. I don't know where that's come from. Where's that come from? Does it say? We've got a grant. Interesting. Because we had a whole bunch of cash go out for, or it did go. I don't know what's happened there. We had a bunch of cash that went missing for the training facilities that we're building. But apparently we're back in profit, so that's fine. But yeah, we've got we're committed to spending 96,000 on wages. So we'll see what's happening there. I'll see if I can figure some stuff around, shuffle some stuff around, because there are a lot of players I've got my eyes on. This is filtered by determination of like 14, because that was a thing I was looking for, you'll remember. But if we look at the players whose contracts are expiring soon, some of these guys are pretty good. Aurelian Nguamba looks like he could become a decent footballer. He's currently rated as being good for our first team in that holding midfield role, with potential to improve. So, in fact, while we're here, let's see if we can offer him a contract. I'm not going to give him a big pay rise because I'm not stupid. We'll try and challenge for the title. That was part of my plan anyway. Wants us to improve attackers, but frankly, we don't need to, so we'll just go with it. Let's see if we can drop some of these wages down, just a touch. I'd like to pay less for that, and if I can pay less for that, that would make me quite happy. We'll take it down to 35. See if we can get that to go through. Come on, we're gonna get ourselves a bargain. That's my plan. That is my plan. Get ourselves a bargain. 1.7. Come on, take that. There we go. That's a good deal. That's a pretty good deal for a player of that quality. We'll bring him in. I'm going to have a look through, see who else I can get to come in, because you've got guys here like Carter Vickers. His contract's about to run out. If I can get him for, I mean, it says he wants 14,000 a week, so we'll see. Lee Gregory as well. What's Lee Gregory doing? Lee Gregory is a striker at Stoke, but he's also 32. I don't need a striker badly enough to take a 32-year-old, do I? Really? We'll have a look. We'll see what happens, because we'll see how that goes. Otherwise, jumping up, Adrian Mariappa, he's 34. Probably wouldn't get in our size. We've got no pace left in him, to be honest. He doesn't really look like he's got any pace left in him. But we'll give him we'll keep an eye on him too. There are a few players here. Some of these younger lads like Duje Javoricic. He would be. I mean, he says he's a winger. I don't need a winger. I don't need a winger badly enough to risk that. But we'll keep an eye on him. We will keep an eye on what's Jacob Jones doing. Jacob Jones is a left back. Is he going to be immediately good enough? Probably not. Is he going to get in the team? It would depend very much on how the top end of his potential looks once we finish scouting him. But these are guys who are potentially available. There's a lot of guys who are if I drop the determination down to what I would consider acceptable, so sort of 11-ish, you see a whole bunch of other guys appear. This guy Lamine and Dow looks like he could be okay. Senegalese player playing for QRM. I don't even know why QRM is France. Yeah. Senegalese striker. So what was his stats like? What were we looking at with him? Yeah, he could maybe do a job for us. We'll keep looking at him. We'll keep looking at Duje Kop because I like his name. He's also a Croatian international striker, and there's some pretty impressive stats. If we can get him in on a decent deal, he might be worth a look. Carlton Morris, who is currently at Norwich on loan at Coventry, another striker though. We're not particularly looking for strikers, so he's someone to think about. Who else have we got here that's maybe worth a thought? A few guys. I mean, even this guy, Hamadou Karamoko, central defender. We'll keep scouting him because if he turns out to be something special, then we'll probably take him. But yeah, some moves to be made. I'm going to come back once I've made a few more transfers, or once some action starts happening. We also have a game coming up that we are going to play in this episode because I decided to do it. When it finally lets me get there, we're playing Young Boys in a testimonial. This testimonial is for Mariusz Pavelec, who hasn't played for us for a year, but it offered me a chance to give him a testimonial. He did spend, solidly 10 years at the club before I sold him last season. He's going to come and presumably play in his own testimonial, you'd hope. We're going to play Young Boys for him. He did play for us the first season we were here, a little bit. So we'll give him a go. We'll see what we can do. But we're going to play that game just because I like seeing which of our old players will come back. So we'll come back for that in just a moment. So we're at testimonial time. The testimonial is tomorrow in game time. And yeah, Mariusz Pavelec is coming back for his testimonial. We've got Peter Chalaban, Zivilic and Dino Stiglic joining him to come play. Apparently he's played for us for 12 games in his first year, so it's a fitting tribute. I don't think the game understands that he left and he's coming back for a testimonial. But what I did notice was he's not in the squad, and neither are any of the other guys. And I've not got anything filtered out that should be filtered out unless they've hidden in the seconds, which seems unlikely. So organise it by position, but yeah, you would see him. You would see them in there somewhere. Nope. So we may play the game, or may not. It depends if he shows up tomorrow. Also, the other piece of news that we've just got for this next part is I may have accidentally cost myself the job. I asked for improved youth recruitment. I've never seen this happen before. I did the thing where I just kept begging them to do it, and they said, well, if you give some youth team players a chance in the first team, then we'll give you what you want. So now I've got to give some youth players a chance, which we will hope that the guys we've been using count. Otherwise, we'll be in trouble. We'll see. Let's crack on. Well, I said if our guys showed up, we'd play the game, and our guys showed up, so let's play the game. We are playing Young Boys in the testimonial for Pavelec. We've never beaten Young Boys, so that's going to be interesting. I've gone with a starting lineup that is as close to the original team. I don't know why there's major issues there. We know Chalaban can play in defence. We've gone with as close to the original team as possible to start. So the team we started with, basically. Kushak, Dankowski, Chelaban, Pavlic, and Stiglitz are the back four. They've all been here since the start. Joe Ledley was the first guy we brought in. Zivilic was already here. Longstaff came in not long after that, so he's original. Lachas was at the club when we got here, and is still here. And then Wright and Sterling, because none of the original strikers are here. Because if you remember, they weren't good with the goals. So they're gone. And then on the bench, I've essentially gone with the future. So this is the past, this is the future. Sarnowski is the youth team keeper we got through in the intake, so he's going to be on the bench for this. Nico Williams, Igor Gomes, Ben Hockenhull, who I don't think we've seen play before. He is a Man United youngster that I brought in last season, I think, or this season, last season. He's played a lot for our youth team, but not for the first team, so he's going to get a chance today. Piaszek, then we've got Schwerman, Bargel, Dixon Bonner, McAneff, Liss, of course, is on the bench. So is Glovian, Kowski, and Deschal. So the future very much represented and looking quite strong. That's pretty much the team we've played for a lot of the back end of the season. So yeah, kind of a mix of the two. There was no training reports to pick players from, and frankly, it's a testimonial. It's not really about picking players based on form. They have got, is that the Shaqiri? No, I was going to say, Jesus, let's not go doing that to me. Looks like they've gone with a fairly weakish side. Jetro Williams, the Dutch international left back, he is still in the squad. They must have picked him up very recently. The start of this season? Yeah, start of the season just gone. They've signed Jetro Williams, so he is in the team. That's a good pickup for them. That's going to be as Adrian, the West Ham keeper, the West Ham Liverpool keeper. It is. Adrian in goal. Okay, they've picked up some good players. Is that Mo Silla as well? Mamadou Silla. He sounds familiar. He's played a lot of places. Yeah, some good players they've picked up. I'm pretty sure none of these guys, or very few of those guys, were here last time we played them. No one jumps out on the bench as being big stars too. Well, it doesn't matter. Zivilic has completed 71% of his passes this season for Schloss, which is very interesting. Because he has not been with us since the beginning of the season. He's completed 71% of his. He completed 91% of his passes for us. He's done 71% of his passes for Apollon Limassol since he joined them. I was going to say that seemed like an unusually high number, or an unusual number anyway. But yeah. So team talk doesn't matter. Let's just get into the game. Let's just try and enjoy it for what it is. Try and pick up a win. Send Pavlic off into the sunset with a big pocket full of cash, and hopefully enjoying his last bat. He's picked up a yellow card straight away, which actually is true to form for Pavlic. When he was with us originally, he used to get booked quite a lot. So don't be surprised if he gets sent off. I think he got sent off in his last game for us. Not a great turnout for him. He wasn't a popular boy, was he, despite spending 10 years at the club? You'd expect with a testimonial, usually the crowd is pretty packed. We're not playing a small team. Chelaban, Dankowski. Be nice just to see. I don't do any touchline shouts in this game either. It's just watch and relax, really. Watch and relax. But, you know, the second half should give us a good indicator of where we're at, too, because we're going to play the team that's essentially going to make up the team for a lot of this season, against one of the top sides, or I say one of the top sides, one of the better sides in Europe. We'll tell Pavlic to back off his tackles in a second. Let's just see where this goes, because we don't want Pavlic getting sent off if we can avoid it. Dankowski's going to try and get a cross in, finds Longstaff with the ball to Stiglitz to Sterling. Sterling has a hoof, and it goes wide. It's weirdly nice to see Stiglitz back. I sold him because I had options. But it's not like he was ever a bad player for us. Jetro Williams almost got himself in trouble there. We're pressing very highly, very high pressing. Yeah, Stiglitz was one of those players we let go because, you know, he's approaching his 30s. He was coming sort of to the stage where we weren't going to get any money for him beyond that, so I let him go. But he wasn't a bad player for us at all. Silla's through, he's going to score. Kushak just kind of gave up on life a little bit. But in fairness, I don't think he expected to ever play a game of football again. So he's probably as surprised to be there as we are to see him playing. Um, but testimonial, you've got to bring the old boys in as much as you can. Silla's just done us there. But in fairness, the back four has a bar. Dankowski has a combined age of about 130, so it's not not the biggest shock. Let's just do a show some passion. Why not? Just to see what happens. Zivilic looks uninterested, which is a good way to show some love for your friend. Um, you've come all this way from Cyprus, and you've not decided to, maybe, I don't know, show some interest. And now Shaqiri's picked up the ball, they're going to attack again. We're not going to probably defend too well here, but we'll try. Oh, Dankowski's actually made a tackle. He's made a tackle. Akira Wright is way far back. He's kind of a bit lost there. He's gone for a little back heel to Chelaban. Finds Lachas. Oh, it's going to be some beautiful football. Stiglitz has picked up the ball. We like Dino Stiglitz. It's good to see him back in a Slosh shirt just for this one last time. Pavlec with the ball forward, which doesn't go anywhere because Pavlec's passing skills were never the best. But Akira Wright's through. Akira Wright has a pop and it's 1-1. There we go. The OG team, or the closest to the OG team we can make happen. Doing the business for us. Doing the business. We'll see if the young guns can match this. It's a poor pass, wasn't it? But we'll take it. We'll take a bunch of those this season, beating Adrian, who would be by far the best goalkeeper in our league if he came to it. Is still fairly impressive. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that name. Yeah, no, it's not going to happen. Shaqiri though, let's try maybe something defensive, just because it'd be nice to see it. Like I said, it doesn't matter if we win or not. It is just a testimonial, but you'd still like to show something. Sterling has been fouled, presumably. I don't know what happened there. No idea what happened there. Silla's through again. We need to defend again. Chelaban's got the experience, but probably not the pace. And that's a beautiful finish. That's a beautiful finish. I can't hate that. I can't hate that at all. That's a nice finish. And yeah, some footballing madness occurring. That was just a ridiculous finish. I can't knock that at all. Zivilic is just not doing much at all. He just doesn't care. He's flown all this way to play for his mate's testimonial, and he doesn't even care what's going on. Which is kind of unfair. You'd think he'd be fired up to give his mate a good send-off, but apparently not. Apparently that's not what happens, and that's a big old ball through, and Silla's clean through on goal again. He's probably going to score. He doesn't score. Kushak manages to tip it away, and now we've given him a corner. The trouble with games like this is there's nothing for us to really learn about the team. It's before we've even brought in any transfers. There's no one coming in for it like 5 days after this game, so it's nice in a way. We get to see what we have, but also it doesn't spoil anything for the rest of the episode, which is quite good. Into the dressing room, and yeah, we'll just carry on. In fact, I say we'll just carry on. I was going to make some subs. I remember that. Sarnowski off, Dankowski off. They're all coming off. I don't know why I'm doing it one by one. We're replacing the entire team. We'll replace Pavlec last, because he deserves his own send-off. It just feels fairer that way. But this is more or less the team we've become familiar with now. I mean, you've got Makanef in there. In fact, I say put Makanef in there. It's a friendly. Let's give Liss a chance to learn, shall we? That's nice. That'll be nice. We're going to put Gloviankowski there. We're going to put Dershell there. Gives us 2 subs left to make for Muckenef and Hockenhull coming on. Hopefully they got a nice rousing applause as they all left the field. But now we're going to do a show some passion, because I'd like us to try and get back into this game now. That will be the perfect thing for us. Try and get ourselves back into this game. We'll give Pavlec a few more minutes because he deserves to play as much of his testimonial as he can. List with the court. Valdemar List got himself an assist. That's the first time he's been in the first team. He's got himself an assist for Kasper Glowiankowski to score. And Glowiankowski is the man to bring us back from behind at all times. Good finish. Beats Adrian. He can't complain too much about that. That's a pretty solid way to end it. We're gonna take off Pavlec on the 70-minute mark. That feels like the most appropriate time. They've scored again. Abisher, you know, basic Route 1 stuff. That wasn't it. Basic Route 1 stuff. But you know, 5 goals in a testimonial. You get the fans who have decided to show up are getting their money's worth at least. They are getting some goals. You guys are getting to see some goals. Goals. Things look okay, and yeah, that's going to be time. That's time to withdraw Pavlec. Good work, son. Welcome home, and goodbye. And now, yeah, it'd be nice to see what Hockenholt's got actually, because I've not had a chance to have a proper look at him. He's just kind of been sat in the reserves, waiting to develop. So I haven't had a chance to look at him at all properly. Mukanev probably isn't going to get on the field at this rate, which is weird. But also the way when you've got 12 subs and you only use 11 of them. But we've done all right. We've done all right second half. It's a 1-1 draw in the second half, which is good. Valdemar Lisk made an impact. Glowiankowski made an impact. That's pretty good all round. And we are gonna, you know, tell them some good stuff. Everyone seems motivated by whatever it is we told them. That's fine. That's fine all around. Good stuff. Right, that was the testimonial out of the way. There's a little news report. We've honoured Mariusz Pavlec, and everything looked pretty good. So I'm going to come back right at the end of the window. This episode is going to be about 400 hours long, so we'll come back at the end of the window. Okay, guys, I don't want to cause any alarm, but we're at the end of the end of the summer break because we're playing the first game of the season, and I've got a sneaking suspicion we might have a small chance of winning the league this season. I might have built a championship winning team. I'll show you the first reason I feel that before we go through the players. This is the pre-season. It doesn't look terribly great, but there's some results in here that make you think. We beat FC Copenhagen, a 1-0 win. Jankovic scoring. Okay, they had a man sent off. We also beat Crystal Palace, and you think Premier League team of any stripe is probably better than most of what's in this league, so that's okay. A draw against Krasnodar, who are playing in Europe this year. The Russian league is better than this one. We beat Anderlecht again, the Belgian league better than this one, and Anderlecht are in Europe. There's hope there. We've still got a couple more big friendlies to play as well. If we can beat Hamburg away, I think we'll probably be pretty set. But we've made a lot of transfers, so we're going to go through that, and I'm going to try and go through it as quickly as I can. But this might be a long video because of this, so be warned. Harry Charsley, by the way, and Eric Exposito are probably on their way out, which is nice. But let's have a look at what's gone on. Let's go with the outs first. There's been a lot of movement. So you knew Kaiser Laboshko were going. Jazabowski was a youngster. We let him go to Malika because he wasn't going to make it. Mari Soare finally went, which I'm quite happy about. Highton Tarak, who we didn't really see a lot of, was a Gibraltarian under 19 I brought in just to have a look at because he looked like he could develop and he didn't. So he's gone to Lecce Sturniau, who are one of our feeder clubs are in the 4th division. He's probably never going to be seen again. Grashan Kortikovsky, the 5th or 6th choice goalkeeper, he's gone to Juve Stabia in Serie B. Largi Ramazzani is on loan at Leyton Orient for the season to give him a chance to develop. I think he'll do quite well there. Leyton Orient currently in League 2 for any Orient fans who might be watching. Lars Fanerburst, who's a guy we brought in last season to try and develop, the Norwegian striker. He's gone on loan to St. Vola, who are, I'm guessing, Division 4, 2nd Division, there we go, 2nd Division in Poland. So he's gone there. The big one out is Adrien Lechasse. I know I said I wasn't going to sell any more good young prospects, but I don't think he's going to be good enough to get near our team anymore. I got offered £500,000 for him. He was worth 64,000. I took it. I ripped their hands off for that. And then Jordan Graham has gone out on loan to Rudes, who are in Croatia. So he's gone on a venture. Now the players in. Oof, there's been some players in. So many players in. Stefan Tigges, Kazaya Sterling, Max Hipper we knew because they were already here. They've just been confirmed as permanent signings. The next guy through the door was Ivan Benic, a Croatian left winger. He's joined us from Dragovljac. I don't know. Anyway, he's a winger, so we'll see what happens with him. I'm going to try and retrain him. In fact, I don't know if I've set that up. I'm going to try and retrain him as an attacking midfielder. Because I feel like he's probably got a central attacking midfielder, because I feel like he's probably got what it takes to do that, so we're going to try him out there. He'll develop in the youth team. Nolan Mbemba, the French defensive midfielder, I think I showed him to you before. He's come in, 3-star abilities coming from Reims, also been at Vitória Guimarães in Portugal, and he's played at Mouscron in Belgium. He's currently ranked as our second best defensive midfielder, which is very, very promising. I think he's going to turn out to be a good signing for us. Sven Brodersen, I showed you, the German goalkeeper we signed on a pre-contract. 2.5-star current, 3.5-star potential ability. So I was looking at him as being the short-term solution to the goalkeeping problem. He is going to be behind Kjell Scherpen, but he's on the way to being as good. Okonkwo and Moreno are more than good enough to fill in too, which is good to see. Bright Inobakare, you knew, was coming in as well. He's signed on a free transfer from Wolves after being on loan here, there, and everywhere. Was it Wolves? Well, he moved somewhere else before Wolves. No, he'd been on loan everywhere from Wolves. We brought him in, 3-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability. So if we look at his report, he's already a leading player for most sides with 3-star ability, and he's our second best attacking midfielder. And he has the ability to develop much more, I think. So he's a good signing. Lorenzo Rossetti gives us yet another option up front, a former Italian under-21 international, 26 years old, 3-star current ability, 3.5 potential ability. He joins us from Ascoli, previously been of places like Siena and Juventus and Atalanta and all over the place. He just gives us an option in place of Kazaya Sterling as that pressing forward. Currently the third best striker in the squad, but let's not speak too soon. Jamoy Topay, Jamaican international, with 2.5-star current ability, maybe 4.5-star potential ability. I'm working on his determination. He's being mentored quite heavily by Joe Ledley. He's joined us from Cavalier, who I believe are, they're a Jamaican side. He has been on loan in the MLS with Philadelphia. I think we've probably picked up a bit of a winner there. Simon Shish, the Polish under-19 international. We've signed him from Lazio. He comes in on a free, which is an excellent deal. 2-star current ability, potentially 3.5-star potential. Plays as a Mazzala, which we like. I like the look of the kid. He's not even in the top 10 players at the moment, but I think he could develop, and if he trains hard, he'll get opportunities. I think he's going to maybe develop, if not into a player we use long-term, a player we can probably sell on for a profit. Lewis Longstaff, who is not related to Matty, because I checked, both in-game and on Google. He's coming from Liverpool on a free. He's currently wanted probably for a loan by Grimsby. Oh, interesting. Not at all interesting. He's got current 1.5-star ability, but potentially up to 4-star potential. He plays as a winger, but he can also play, anywhere across the front line, which I quite like the look of. We're going to see if we can develop him either for the first team or to sell on for a profit. So he's coming. Alex Rico has come in from Barcelona. We've brought in players from Barcelona. We've hit the big time, boys. 2.5-star current ability, potentially 5-star. He's the third or fourth choice defensive midfielder. Yeah, fourth choice behind Julian Schwerman. But he gives us an extra option. He's already good enough for this league, and he's got potential to get much, much better. And I think he could become a very big signing for us. I I think he's one of those guys that either he'll probably play well, move back to Spain for big money, and will do well. I've done the thing where I brought in a lot of loan signings as well. So Diego Gonzalez has come in, the midfielder slash attacking midfielder, can also play Mazzala, which we like. Currently 2.5 star ability, potential for 5 star ability, 16 for passing, 17 for technique, 13 for determination, 14 for work rate. I think this guy might be a wonder kid. I think he might be a wonder kid on the quiet, and I think I'd like to try and keep hold of him until his contract runs out. Although his contract runs out at the end of next season in Uruguayan terms, so maybe we've got a small chance of picking this lad up on a free. So we're going to see how he develops. Also, Nicolas Inostroza, a Chilean under-20 international, 17 caps, 8 goals, 2.5 star ability currently, 5 star potential, can play as an advanced forward, gives us an extra option. He's the 5th best striker in the squad, but that doesn't mean a lot because he could potentially get some game time. He needs to work on that determination, but we'll get that going. 15 on a finishing though, pretty quick. Got lots of the things we need at a very high level for this level. And if we look at his contract, that is expiring at the end of the season after next, but also he's only worth £500, so maybe we'll pick him up. Jason Juarez has come in on a free from Boston Bolts, which is a great name for a team. There's also the Minnesota Thunder Academy. He's the central midfielder. We can develop 2.5 star current ability, 4.5 star-ish potential ability. First touch is excellent, passing is excellent, his vision is excellent. Just one of those kids. He's an American under-20 international with 24 caps already at 18. You just look at this guy and you get a feeling. You get a feeling he's going to develop into something very, very special. And again, he's currently the 9th best central midfielder in the squad, but potential is there to develop into something special. Brandon Herrera came in on loan from Pumas of Mexico, central defender, 2-star current, potentially 4-star ability. He looked good when I scouted him. He didn't come out through quite as good as the scout report suggested, but he turned out to be acceptable, and he's going to be in the mix for game time, I think. So we should see him develop. Iestyn Hughes, the Welsh right-back under-19 international, so we've got 2 Welsh right-backs now in the squad, including Nico Williams, ex-Manchester United, good determination, good room for growth, 2-star current ability, but 4.5-star potential. You've got to look at that guy and think, maybe. I think he's currently the 3rd best right-back in the squad, but 3rd best right-back in the squad is no shame in the squad. Reece Devine is coming on loan from Manchester United. He's a left-back, spent last season on loan with St Johnstone. 17 in the tackling department, needs some work on his mentals, but we can look at that, but his acceleration, his pace, he's going to be an absolute weapon. He is a left-back, which has pushed Piaszczek down, but we'll get over that. Because this guy could win us games, a lot of games. Kelly Valenzuela, an American under-20 international as well, 19 caps, 1 goal. But a lot of Americans, I don't know why. He comes in from Corpus Christi, but previously played for Strikers. I'm not sure who either of those teams are, but we'll assume they're good. Again, good all-rounder, 2.5 star currently, 4.5 star potential. He's also quick, very quick. He gives us an option. 4th best attacking midfielder in the squad, but he gives us an option. There's all about options this transfer window. Asif Dizdarevic, a centre half from Serbia, under 19 international, comes in from Javor, who I've never heard of, but I like the look of him. He's got 2-star current ability, 4 potentially 5-star ability. I think he's going to be a player that maybe develops. He's maybe not quite there technically yet, but we'll see if we can develop him, because he looks like he could be good. Callum Parks, another attacking midfielder, comes in. Great determination, great bravery, all of his technicals, all of his mentals, they are more or less in the realms of a quality player for this level. 2.5 star current ability, 4-star potential ability, rated 5th best attacking midfielder in the squad. But again, room to develop. Room to develop is what we're doing. So he's come from Manhattan. John Davis is a guy I'm very excited about. He's got under 23 caps for the United States already. He's 18 years old. He has 3-star current ability, potential 5-star ability, plays an advanced forward, and we use those. 16 on the finishing, 16 on the first touch, 14 on the technique, 13 on the dribbling, 14 decisions, 12 composure, 12 determination, 30. Everything about this guy says goals. Everything about this guy says goals. I don't know what his under 20 record is like. He hasn't played. He was so good he didn't play under 20s football. He's come from Texas United after playing for Baltimore Armour. But I think this guy's a proper gem. It says he's already operating at a top level and could improve a lot in the future. See money with this boy, and he is the 4th best striker in the squad, but that doesn't mean anything. It means he's going to get game time. Francesco Marchetti, another striker, 2.5-star ability, 5-star potential, an American, 17 under 20 caps, 6 goals. Again, everything in the right places. Everything in the right places. I think I've played a blinder in this window. He's the 8th best striker in the squad, if you can believe it. 8th best striker in the squad, and he looks pretty damn good. Santiago Nunez, another left back, he's just joined on loan from Nacional in Uruguay with 2.5-star current and 5-star potential. And he's the 2nd best left back in the squad. Matty Folds I've decided to sell because he's just being a little bitch. Yeah, I like him. And the final transfer, feels like this has been the longest transfer window ever. It's taken me how long so far to get this roundup done? 13 minutes just to round up this bit. Croatian centre half can play either side of as a fullback too, and not embarrassingly, but he's quick. He can tackle. Needs some work mentally, but we'll see if we can develop him as well. And if we can develop him enough, we will sell him on and we'll make some money. And if he plays, he plays. But that's the team. That's what we've brought in. So let's look at the team report, because there's so much depth in this squad right now. It's absolutely stupid. It's a stupid amount of depth in the squad right now. To the point where it's taking a while to load up the squad depth screen. That's how you know how much depth is in this team. That's our best 11, which is fair. And eventually we'll get there. Eventually. God, I love when it does this. It has a little random slowdown for no good reason. It's been doing it a lot the last few days. Right. Up front. If we put it into... when it finally lets me. Come on, when it finally lets me. Role suitability. Let's do that. Because that's usually the best way to determine what we've got in terms of a team. When it gets there, I don't know why it's doing this slowdowning thing. I feel like it's trying to make me do a Windows update or something stupid. Right, oh, that's not going to help at all. That's not going to help at all. Current ability, and let's do it by role, picked role. Come on, let's move faster. The poor baby is having a bit of a meltdown on me, and I don't entirely understand why. We'll get there. It won't tell me the player's best right, it's fine. So strikers wise, we've got Wright and Sterling are still our best 2 attackers, but then we've got Rossetti, Davis, Exposito, who I'm going to get rid of because he's not scored goals even while he's been out on loan. I don't feel like he's ever going to turn into a striker, and we don't use a target man, so I can get 140k for him. He's gone. In attacking midfield, we've got Jankovic, we've got Borge, who is going to join us actually in February. He's the Brazilian we talked about earlier. There's a couple of guys who are coming in. We need to look at too. Magoma, Inabakare, and then Valenzuela, strong. Nothing below 2.5 ability in that position. And then here as well, Jankovic, Longstaff, Finson, Magoma. They're our top ones. Again, nothing below 2.5-star ability in the top 5. Defensive midfield, Finson's still there, and Mbemba, Ledley, Schwerman, and Rico. 2.5-star ability is the lowest we go there. And then even in defence, we've got 3 left backs: Divine, Piaszczek, Folds, and Nunez. 2.5-star ability minimum. 5 defenders, centre halves: Puerto, Gomez, Raggett, Atikba, and Hipper, who have a 2.5-star or above. That's solid. That's very solid. Right back, maybe a small weakness because we've got Dankowski, Williams, and then it's Oliveira, Sherman, and Hughes. But I think that will change and become better. And then in goal, Sherpen. This guy Wilson, Bradley Wilson, he's joining us in February once he finally turns 18 and the window reopens. We think he could be good, and then Broderson is the 3rd choice. So all depth. I'll just very quickly show you the guys who are on the way in. Um, just so you can see what's coming up, Wilson, who is this goalkeeper you just saw, good determination. Everything there says he's going to be quite a lot of good Americans. There's a bit of a golden generation of Americans coming through. Michel Borges is the Brazilian from whoever Czech is, who was at Karpaty last season, that we liked the look of when we showed him earlier, I think. And then this guy, Anton Logi Ludvigsson, an Icelandic centre half who can play pretty much anywhere else. Rated as a good signing, rated as being one of our top 4 centre halves, assuming he has that ability. He's costing us nothing. He's either going to make it or not, but either way, he's at Breidablik. I never know how to pronounce that letter. I'm going to have to ask Old Lady Plays how you pronounce that letter. I think it's pronounced like a D, but not quite. So Breidablik. Yeah, good all-round teams. Otherwise, let's just have a quick look at the other stuff that's important before we wrap things up, before we hit the hour mark on the whole episode. Club info-wise, still national reputation. The chairman is talking about selling the club. There's talks of a board takeover. Maybe it'll bring some money, and I haven't actually seen any. I don't think I saw the news item that said what kind of board takeover it would be. But we'll have a search in a second just to be sure. I don't think I've had a board takeover yet, so we'll see what happens. Maybe some big money investments coming in, maybe not. Pavelec finally hit the favoured personnel, by the way. I don't know how it took him a testimonial to do it, but it did. Vision-wise, the club vision we should be well on target for, to be honest. It's a shame we don't have to sign under 23 players, because I've signed nothing but under 23 players pretty much. Within the wage budget, well within the wage budget. Oh, I say well within the wage budget. If I did a shiftify of that, the 171,000 we've got left, we'd be a lot closer, but it's fine, because there's a couple of players going out and we'll balance it out in the end. They want us to finish in the top half of the league this season. They want us to reach the FA Cup semi-final. These things are both possible, and we're going to finish all of our training things and see how that goes. Finances-wise, 3.8 million in the bank. We are living the dream right now. We are financially stable, projected to finish the season 2.9 in the red. But, you know, some good prize money. Things could change. And I think the last thing to show you was just if we go into the transfers for the whole league, because I thought, you know, just to give you a bit of a comparison, if I can find what I'm looking for, Poland transfers. This is the best of the window so far in terms of what has been bought and sold. Can you just show me the whole transfer window? I'm sure it used to show the whole transfer window. I know why it's not showing the whole transfer window. I'm looking in the wrong screen, because we only care about the extra classer. This season, the biggest signing coming in has been this guy, Egi Maulana Vikri, a left winger coming into Piast. He's Indonesian. I don't think I've ever seen an Indonesian show up for any reason whatsoever in this game. But he's come across from Lecce, so he might make an impact. I don't remember him playing against us, so we'll see what happens. In terms of other players who might have come in from outside, this guy, Jonathan, has come into Gornik, a Brazilian right back. He might be okay. He might add some strength to the league. This guy, Miguel Rodriguez from Real Ave, Portuguese centre-half, under 21 international. He could turn into something special for them. Player went to Lincoln from Jagiellonia, which shows you the level this league's at. It's not a high level. There's a few others. There was another Brazilian I saw come in as well, but I seem to have lost him. Brian, that was the guy. He's come into Gornik as well. Gornik have been shopping in Brazil. We've been shopping everywhere. They've been shopping in Brazil, brought in this right winger. You know, you just get a feeling they've done well. They might be in with a chance. And then the last, I promise this is the last thing. Let's have a quick look at the season preview. See what we're predicted to finish. We're predicted to finish 5th this season, and I think that might be a little bit understating things. Gumney, by the way, we've come across Gumney a few times. Jankovic is among the best players in the league apparently, but Gumney, who plays at Poznan, is currently rumoured to be leaving for big money, 2.6 million to VfB Stuttgart. He has run rings around us the last couple of seasons. I will be very happy to see him go. But anyway, let's wrap the episode up because we've been doing this for a long time now, and I feel bad. But hopefully you've enjoyed the episode, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Chasing Lamely. As always, the socials, they live below. Like and subscribe so you can see us actually try and win a title again this season. I think we can do it. I think this is where we really start pushing on into Europe because we've got so much squad depth now. We won't have the issue we had last season where the European football was tiring out players we need for the league and form dropped and all sorts of silliness happened. So hopefully we'll be fine. But yeah, until next time, guys, I've been Chasing Lamely. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good